If Sean Combs watches this, what do you think he's going to feel?
Like, wow, this is amazing. I think he's gonna say this is the best documentary I've seen in a long time.
When 50 Cent dropped Diddy's secret tape in the new Netflix documentary, everything changed. Sudden screams, hidden rooms, strange trips, late night calls, and shaky witnesses all came rushing back. Now the world wants answers, and this reveal, it's only the beginning. The footage everybody's talking about. A brand new doc series about Diddy, produced by 50 Cent, just dropped on Netflix, and people are buzzing nonstop. The series uses never-before-seen footage of the rapper right before his arrest, and the reactions online have been wild. The show, Sean Combs, The Reckoning, landed on Netflix earlier this week. It's a 4-part deep dive that covers Diddy's rise to fame and takes viewers straight to his arrest and conviction earlier this year. One of the executive producers is 50 Cent, a longtime critic of Diddy, and someone who used to collaborate with him back in the day, making the whole situation even more tense. The documentary is packed with jaw-dropping moments, but there's one clip everybody keeps talking about because no one really understands how it got into the series. The footage shows Diddy just days before his arrest, going back and forth with his lawyers about their strategy. The vibe in the room is heated, and it shows how stressed he was as things were falling apart. In the clip, Diddy complains that they need someone who understands the darkest, most complicated side of the business because he feels like everything is slipping out of control. The moment is raw and blunt, and it gives viewers a rare look at how intense things were behind the scenes. Another piece of unseen footage shows Diddy in Harlem, surrounded by supporters. He's shaking hands, taking photos, and trying to look calm. But the second he steps away, he asks for hand sanitizer immediately. He explains that he just got through a huge crowd and had to hug and greet a lot of people, so he feels like he needs to clean up fast. It's a surprising moment that many viewers didn't expect to see, and it adds another layer to how he was feeling at the time. Since the documentary dropped, people have been trying to figure out exactly how Netflix got this private footage. A spokesperson for Diddy claims the clips were stolen and were never meant to be used in someone else's project. According to them, Diddy has been recording his own life story since he was 19. And this footage was part of a long-running personal documentary he has been working on. They insisted that the footage was commissioned for his own project and should never have been used in any other production. They also described Netflix's use of the clips as unfair and illegal, saying the streaming platform had no right to include the footage. On the other side, Netflix completely denies that anything was stolen. In a statement, the documentary's director, Alex Stapleton, explained that they got the footage legally. She said it was given to them properly, with all the rights they wanted, and that they made sure everything was handled correctly. Alex also said they worked extremely hard to protect the identity of the filmmaker who provided the footage because the situation around it was sensitive. According to her, Diddy has been filming himself for decades, and it has been something he does constantly, almost like a personal habit. That makes it even less surprising that so much unseen footage exists. Alex also shared that they reached out to Diddy's legal team multiple times to get his side of the story, or at least a comment for the documentary, but there was no response at all, even after several attempts. Because of that, the team had to move forward without any direct input from Diddy or his representatives. The whole situation has created a huge conversation online. Fans, critics, and media outlets are all trying to piece together what really happened behind the scenes. People want to know how that footage surfaced, whether it truly belonged to Diddy's personal archive, and whether Netflix had any right to use it. Some viewers believe Netflix is telling the truth, while others strongly side with Diddy's team and feel like the footage should never have made it into a public documentary. What's clear is that the release of Sean Combs, The Reckoning, has brought a lot of attention, not only because of the shocking clips and the big names involved, but also because of the questions it raises about privacy, ownership, and the business side of documenting a celebrity's life. With 50 Cent attached to the project and Diddy's team pushing back against the use of the footage, the entire situation feels intense and dramatic. In the middle of all the noise, viewers are still streaming the documentary and sharing their reactions. Whether they agree with how the footage was obtained or not, people are hooked on the series and the deep look it gives into Diddy's life during one of his most difficult moments. The mix of unseen videos, legal battles, and behind-the-scenes tension has made this documentary one of the most talked-about releases on Netflix right now. And with conversations still going strong, it doesn't look like the buzz around this series will be dying down anytime soon. Netflix drops a heavy 4-part Diddy doc that has everyone talking. Netflix has officially released the 4-part documentary titled Sean Combs, The Reckoning on Monday, December 2, 2025, and the entire internet is already buzzing about it. The series takes a close, straight-to-the-point look at the long career of Sean Diddy Combs, while also digging into the sexual assault and trafficking allegations that eventually led to his 2025 conviction and prison sentence. Netflix presents everything in a clear way, sticking to the timeline, the events, the reactions, and the people involved, which makes the series heavy, serious, and hard to ignore. The documentary is directed by Alexandria Stapleton, who is known for her sharp approach to projects that deal with difficult subjects. It is executive produced by Curtis 50 Cent Jackson through his G-Unit film and television team. Netflix secured the project through a competitive bidding war in May 2024, which shows how much demand and interest existed even before filming was complete. 50 Cent had already made noise about this documentary long before it reached Netflix. He first announced the project on December 7, 2023, right after multiple civil lawsuits accused Combs of sexual assault. His announcement went viral at the time because he made it clear that proceeds would go to victims of sexual abuse. The working title during the early stages was Diddy Do It, but the team eventually shifted to the final title, Sean Combs, The Reckoning, which gives the documentary a more direct and serious tone. The production team captured major events leading up to Combs' arrest, specifically focusing on the 6 days before federal agents took him into custody in September 2024. The timing gives viewers a raw look at what was happening around him before his legal troubles reached a peak. In July 2025, a jury acquitted Combs of racketeering and sex trafficking charges, but they found him guilty on 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution. By October 2025, he received a 50-month prison sentence, and he is currently serving that sentence at FCI Fort Dix in New Jersey. The official trailer was released on December 1, 2025, one day before the series dropped. It opens with audio of Combs on a phone call just days before his arrest, sounding tense and worried. The trailer shows different moments from his career, including old footage and clips connected to his 2025 trial. It also includes short glimpses of various parties and events connected to him. A voiceover in the trailer talks about how life involves people who do good and people who do bad, and that viewers eventually have to decide which side they believe in as they watch the story unfold. The trailer alone created enough conversation online to push the documentary into trending topics even before the first episode debuted. The documentary also includes interviews with several people who have worked with Combs in the past or have been connected to him professionally. Former Bad Boy artists and employees such as Aubrey O'Day, Don Richard, Matey, Mark Curry, and Kirk Burrows, one of the co-founders of Bad Boy, appear in the series. These interviews bring a lot of weight because they offer first-hand experiences from people who were inside the Bad Boy world. One of the earliest civil accusers, Joy Dickerson Neal, also appears, giving one of the most serious perspectives in the series. Jurors from the 2025 federal trial are also featured, adding insight into how the case played out in the courtroom. Other interviewees include William Lassane, who is Tupac Shakur's cousin, and several contestants from Making the Band, giving additional layers to how people who crossed paths with Combs saw him over the years. The production team uses large amounts of archival footage to help build the full picture of Combs' career and the accusations. Some of this footage quickly became controversial. On December 1, a spokesperson for Combs said the documentary was a shameful attack and accused Netflix of using stolen footage that was never authorized for public release. However, director Alexandria Stapleton stated clearly that all footage included in the series was obtained legally. This disagreement added even more conversation online, especially since the documentary was already generating heavy reactions. 50 Cent also commented through Netflix's Tudum platform, expressing gratitude to everyone who participated. He said he felt proud that Stapleton directed the project and believed the story wanted to be shown to the public. His statement reflects the strong reaction surrounding the project, especially given his long and well-known rivalry with Combs. Once the series dropped, it took only a few hours for it to dominate social media. The hashtags DiddyDoc and Diddy Reckoning started trending on X almost immediately. Viewers posted different clips from the trailer, especially the part where Combs sounds distressed during the phone call. Many users described the project as explosive because of its timing, its interviews, and the sensitive nature of the content it covers. At the same time, others criticized it, claiming that the project was motivated by the long-running feud between 50 Cent and Combs. Because the episodes had only been online for a short time, aggregated viewer reviews had not yet been released as of midday December 2, 2025. Despite the mixed reactions and controversy, Sean Combs, The Reckoning is now officially streaming worldwide on Netflix, included in all standard subscriptions. The series delivers a complete and detailed walkthrough of Combs' rise, influence, legal troubles, and the voices of people who were there during different stages of his life and career. The project puts everything on the table, leaving viewers to take in the information and form their own opinions. The release marks one of Netflix's most discussion-filled drops of the year, bringing together legal history, entertainment culture, public reactions, and industry commentary in one place. With its mix of interviews, archival footage, legal details, and public statements, the documentary creates a clear picture of events without adding anything unnecessary. It lays out Combs' situation, the accusations, the trial, the conviction, and the reactions from every side in a straightforward format. As conversations continue online and more people watch the four-part series, it remains a major topic on social media, in entertainment spaces, and in public discussions. Netflix presents the story without stepping outside the documented facts, keeping everything focused on the events and people involved. The Netflix drama shaking the internet. Sean Diddy Combs is calling out Netflix in a loud and clear way, and he is not holding back at all. His spokesperson came forward with strong words against the new Netflix documentary, Sean Combs, The Reckoning, a project produced by 50 Cent, and the reaction has sparked major buzz everywhere. According to Diddy's camp, the documentary is built on footage that was never cleared, never approved, and never meant to be released. They say Netflix crossed the line, and the whole thing feels like a personal attack. Diddy's spokesperson explained that Netflix put out something they are calling a documentary, but from Diddy's side, it looks more like a hit job designed to tear him down. They stressed that the platform relied on private, personal footage that was never supposed to be used by anyone else. Diddy has been collecting his own footage since he was 19, intending to share his story in his own words whenever he chose to. His team believes Netflix had no right to use that content, and they say the move is not just unfair, it's illegal. They insist Netflix and Ted Sarandos know exactly what they are doing, and that using this footage without permission is completely out of line. The spokesperson went even further, saying Netflix wants to sensationalize every part of Diddy's life just to feed into ongoing media attention. According to them, Netflix is using anything and everything they can to build drama, without caring about accuracy. They point out that some of the footage includes private talks between Diddy and his lawyers, conversations that were never supposed to be in public hands. Diddy's team maintains that none of those rights were ever handed over to Netflix or any other company. On the other side, the people behind the documentary say they did everything by the book. Alexandria Stapleton, the director, told Variety that the footage did not appear in their laps through shady channels. According to her, they obtained everything legally and have all the mandated rights. She mentioned that they worked extremely hard to keep the original filmmaker's identity private. She also added that Diddy has always filmed himself nonstop over the years, so there's a lot of footage out there connected to him. Stapleton said they even tried reaching out to Diddy's legal team several times for interviews and comments, but never got a response. But the controversy doesn't stop with the footage. Diddy's spokesperson also called out Curtis 50 Cent Jackson, saying Netflix made a questionable choice by giving creative control to someone who has been a known rival for a long time. They describe 50 Cent as someone who has targeted Diddy for years and has pushed out negative comments about him repeatedly. To Diddy's team, letting 50 Cent produce a documentary on Diddy is basically handing the story to someone they believe has personal motives. The statement from Diddy's side described the whole thing as more than a legal issue. It's a personal violation. They say Diddy has always respected Netflix's CEO, Ted Sarandos, and admired the legacy of music executive Clarence Avant. Because of that respect, he expected a certain level of fairness from Netflix. Instead, he feels like the platform allowed someone who has criticized him for years to take control of his life story. From Diddy's perspective, that decision feels deeply personal, unnecessary, and intentionally hurtful, especially coming from people he had thought held him in better regard. This entire situation is happening while Diddy is facing serious legal issues. And tied into all of this is the fact that a judge recently sentenced him to 50 months in prison, which comes out to more than 4 years. Along with that sentence, he is facing 5 years of supervised release and a $50,000 fine. The hearing took place on October 3, 2025, adding more weight to everything happening around him. With Netflix standing firm on their side and Diddy's team refusing to back down, the conversation around Sean Combs, the reckoning keeps getting louder. Fans are watching the drama unfold. 50 Cent is right in the middle of it, and Diddy is pushing back against what he sees as a serious violation. The tension is high, the energy is heavy, and the internet is glued to every update. Diddy opens up in court as sentencing shakes the industry. The musician finally spoke out in court during his Octane 3 sentencing, marking the first time he addressed everything directly. He apologized to Cassie Ventura and the woman identified as Jane, making it clear that he understands the weight of what happened. He admitted that domestic violence is something he will carry for life, calling his own actions disgusting, shameful, and sick. He explained that he was not in control, saying he was deep in doses, overwhelmed, and in need of help that he never sought. He made it clear he was not trying to make excuses, just facing what he had done. He then explained how the entire case changed everything about his life. He said he is human and was trying, but that he lost himself in excess and ego. Those choices cost him his freedom, the chance to raise his children, and the ability to support his mother. He also lost his businesses, his career, and the reputation he had built for decades. He said the biggest loss was his own self-respect, and that the situation left him humbled and broken on a deep level. He said he currently hates himself and feels as if everything has been stripped away. Judge Arun Subramanian had already set Combs' sentencing date for October 3, 2025, after reviewing all the details in July. The judge also denied Combs' request to be released on bond before sentencing. He said the refusal was based on what he described as a years-long pattern of violence, which he believed made it necessary for Combs to remain behind bars until everything was finalized. In the trial that led up to the sentencing, Combs was found not guilty of racketeering conspiracy and not guilty of sex trafficking, Cassie Ventura and Jane. However, he was found guilty of transportation to engage in prostitution involving both women. After the verdicts came down, the singer's lawyer, Douglas Wigdor, responded. Wigdor highlighted that the entire criminal process began when Cassie filed her civil complaint back in November 2023. He said that although the jury did not find Combs guilty of sex trafficking Cassie beyond a reasonable doubt, her courage helped lead the jury to find him guilty of the transportation charges. He emphasized that Cassie's decision to speak up created a major shift in the entertainment world and the broader fight for justice. Wigdor stressed that even with Combs pleading not guilty to all the charges, his team fully supports their client and stands behind her strength. He said she showed impressive courage throughout the entire trial, no matter how intense the process became. He also praised Cassie for being one of the 34 witnesses who took the stand during the 29-day trial. He said she showed strong determination and brought attention to the long-standing misconduct of powerful men in the industry, misconduct that went unchecked for years. He said the case made it clear that real change is long overdue, and he promised that their fight for survivors will continue.